sometimes unspoken words.
Scorpio, my feisty little friend, thank you very much for being, and I hope that June has graced you a great understanding about what to let go of and what to no longer try and do. If you were a healer, perhaps you might understand nobody needs healing. You don't have to, run around trying. You don't have to grasp onto anything. Maybe if you were a worker, you understand that you don't need to work as hard. You can lower your hours and have more fun. Maybe if you were a lover, you don't have to save anybody. You don't have to save anybody, Scorpio. You don't have to save anybody. So this is a realization that should already take place. You don't need to run and hide. You don't need to trust things that are not good for you. You don't have to self-medicate through drugs. You don't need to sleep around to feel loved. You don't have to trust people that aren't good for you. You don't have to hold somebody or heal somebody all the time. You don't need to be there in a struggle or pain or strife. You don't have to do a lot of things that perhaps you thought you would forever. Another thing about me, as you have noticed probably, is I don't have as much passion or need, live opera next door, it's amazing, to heal people through what I do. I don't need to tell you something. I don't need to heal you because the healing is mine. Just being able to be online and broadcast as a byproduct of my own spiritual evolution, that's something that I found later, perhaps than I should have, but it's something that has been with me like for a while now, and it's probably something that's apparent to you. And this is the thing is, when you let go of a lot of toxic things, the things that are toxic will let go of you. So for example, there's been a lot of people on my mind and in my heart and in my vicinity that have wanted me as that never dying flame that feeds them maternal love and care, or that never endingly feeds them advice and opportunity. Because of how far I've come with channeling and spirit. But at the same time, I've known all along that it wasn't for me to be the mum for everyone. And since letting go of things in June, letting go of telling people what to do and how to feel and what is the truth of them, just letting them be themselves, I found that opportunity has knocked on my door, and I've upgraded my reality threefold because I no longer have to connect to those dramas. So for you as a Scorpio sun, moon, stellar and ascendant, you might also have found that in June you must have, at least on some level, let go of something that wasn't any longer helping you, and achieve something of a great success almost automatically overnight, where you didn't actually think you'd be, you are, or what you didn't think you'd see, you do. Because what happens sometimes with Scorpio is we keep on going in dimensions which are not real for us, or not really right for our being, but at the same time we don't know how to stop because we think that's where we're allowed to be ourselves. That's where I can be myself, is when I channel for people, but that's not real. The self is within, and it doesn't have to be explored outside, externally, or socially. It's just something that is. And the Scorpios that are the most brilliant and the most abundant at what they do are silent Scorpios. The Scorpios that are in love with themselves in the moment of evolution, not the ones that have to splash around and show, not the eccentric ones, not the ones that are trying to suggest to other people who they are, what they think and what they do. But it's really, really interesting and important for you to see, I feel, in July, or as June is ending, what are you letting go of? I mean, what do you no longer bother with? Maybe you no longer bother with drama. Maybe you no longer bother with speaking out in public. Maybe you no longer really care about, doing this, that, or the other. And it becomes something that I feel for you holds you and cherishes you and puts you into a new perspective for yourself. Another thing about July is that things will die. Things will die, and it's not just that they do. It's just it's improbable for them to be. And I feel that means, for example, if you've let go of toxic experiences with people, if you've let go of holding somebody and teaching them how to live, you might find that your friends are gone, that the field of people that you usually are interrupted by, but you think you are loved by, is gone. For example, for me, I've let go of the need to heal the man that I'm with. And I've noticed that the men in my field just drop off, like they just die like flies. Nobody's calling me, nobody's talking to me, and that's really, really fresh for me, because I understand on some level that this means that something else is coming, that I don't have to work out for someone else. I can just enjoy for myself. And as for all Scorpio, it feels like a liberation. When you can see that no longer the old patterns are, and no longer the old ways with people have to be. Another thing for you, I feel, just adjusting the microphone, just a minute. Here. Another thing for you, I feel, as a Scorpio, people will need you less where you thought you were, and people will start putting to you an opportunity where you thought you'd never be. High society, hopefully people with a lot of income wanting to purchase your gifts, purchase your time, people with larger, broader spectrums of reality offering you opportunities. But what we might do as Scorpios, we might say, I don't need that. I want my, half alive people, where I speak my truth. I want my half living relationships. I want the bad boy boyfriend instead of the one with affluence, because I feel that the bad boy can influence me in feeling that I'm needed, but the person who's affluent, I don't believe that they will need me. So have a look at that. If you've got a business or proposition for people, you might find that you're struggling with the idea of having more money or having more affluence or more like a deeper, meaningful, more rich experiences, because you might think to yourself, but I'm only needed in a short term. I can only provide something painful or something deep for somebody. I can't provide to this person who's too good looking for me, or like too wealthy. I can't offer my services at a higher rate. Yes, you are able to, Scorpio, do a lot more than you perhaps before bargained you could. And this is the thing, that this is a choice, because you can here go backwards or forwards. You can either chase or open to the people that were before and the situations that were subdued and comfortable for you, and stay behind. But you can't, because I feel with Jupiter going into Scorpio in October, November, you might actually have to step it up a notch. So you can hide from yourself for you now, but you'll have to step up later anyway. It feels to me that later, even in July, you might see that you have to raise your prices. You have to speak to more kinder, well-evolved people. You don't have to struggle. You don't have to beat your head against the wall. Yes, you do have the opportunity attractive. Yes, you do have the opportunity to be with a person who is enriching for you, not somebody who steals from you, who wants your time for their own self-gratification while giving you the feeling of being deserved. Another thing I feel for you, Scorpio, is money becomes harsh, difficult, if you are not welcome in yourself. If you have a feeling of not being welcome, not being wanted, not being wonderful, I feel money dries up. But if you are trying to be in the same circles of people, you're trying to be in the same sense of self, I feel there is a lot more that can dry up than just financial acceptance of yourself. I feel that things just drop off, and it feels to me that things drop off for a reason, because you might need to nurture yourself in knowing that something is not able to return. So when you see, oh my gosh, I'm actually not able to have this or have that, you have to try something else. You have to try something new. If something's drying up, if something's not working, if something is not good to you, it might be interesting to see what you can do that is new. And if you wanted to, you can do things that are old. If things are going, don't struggle. So you have this really interesting choice between the old and the new this month. Either you go with the old parameters and the old play with life and people, or you go towards the new. And it's really interesting because it's harsh to see yourself flower a little bit too much. It's harsh sometimes for Scorpio to see, I'm actually set up for a much bigger game than I thought. It's really harsh sometimes for us to see, I'm actually deserving to be happy. Oh my gosh, I can see myself like married in 2 years. It is really harsh for us sometimes to see something that's so beautiful and so abundant that it sort of puts our reality at stake. It's like, what? I'm not the goner. I'm not the person who's dysfunctional here. I'm not the person that wants to be alone all the time. I'm not the person who's the freak, because sometimes at times we can get really addicted and obsessed with the idea of being unbelonging. And belonging feels good for a split second, but when we are there and we are asked to be there and like we're paid for and we're looked after, we can't accept it. So have a look at how July accepts you. This is really interesting for me to see as well. What is opening up to you? Say hi. Say have a look. Who's opening up to you? Who wants you there? Who's inviting you? And a part of you might actually say, no, I don't trust this to be lasting. I don't trust this to be good. I don't actually want this person here because I don't believe they'll be there for me for a long time. And you might want to grasp at your friends, your previous friends, but you'll find when you're grasping at the past, it's not there. It's like a mirage. It's like you're grasping at thin air. And for many people, it might look like the past is really deserving. And suddenly the things that were in the past are really cool. And you're like, why did I never go for that guy? Or like, why did I never try this or never tried that? Why I never, wanted to work in this sphere? Do not look at the past unless you want to stick around in the past, which is possible, but it will catapult you out of the past into the future. And by November, you'll see that whatever you were grasping to, that felt to you kosher and really good and really predictable and really nice, it doesn't want you anymore. So have a look at where you are now and who is new. July is a really nice window to see what's new and what's up. If you do not want to see it though, it will close up. It will close up and things will not generate there. So have a look at what's new. Can you stay somewhere for free? Can you have somebody talk really well about your business? Don't fight it, because people will. If you're closing up and saying, okay, I need to cancel this appointment because I don't actually believe that this person wants to help me, and you feel vindictive about people that are trying, and perhaps you even feel brutal about people that want to hold you and give you advice or give you something special, you might actually find that you are self-depleting through fighting things that are good for you. So have a look at July and how things are turning around. The tables that are turning are good. And don't fight it, because there is quite a gap between July and November. I feel you won't understand truly where you belong till then. It feels to me that you are a little bit up in the air and you're a little bit afraid of yourself still, but there will come a time when you'll laugh at this, when you'll say, okay, in July this man came to my house, or this person came to my life and they wanted everything good for me, but I felt that they were too good for me and I let them go, and I tried it with my ex and it just didn't work out in the end anyway. So have a look at how the new stimulates you and what the new has to provide. Anyway, thank you very much, Scorpio. There are some links below. The links are my website. My new website is just about ready, almost. Also, I offer psychic readings through my website. I also offer books. I've got my new book coming up soon. My previous book has already been published. It's called Unleash the Beast, and it's available in paperback and ebook, and I also have cards to come. If you'd like, you can also have a look at the interview that I did last night. That went really well, and I also did a couple of spontaneous readings for people. So if you'd like to see how I roll at the moment, have a look. And also there is a link to a daily blog if you want to be up to date with your energy every day. Thank you very much and have a wonderful July.